Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I'm a couple minutes early, I think, but I'd rather be early than late. I am so excited to talk to you guys today. I feel like I have quite a few tips, which I think is kind of funny because when I got asked to do this, I'm like, I don't have anything special to say, and they quickly were like, what about this, this, and this? So if you're watching this, say hello, tell me what you're up to today. I am gonna just share some of my top tips. If you saw the caption of this video, you'll see that I said whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And so today I'm gonna talk a lot about like mindset and confidence, and not just that, I'm gonna give you some actual like tangible things to work with, but I also just wanna let you know like anything is possible, and I'm proof of it. I was a diamond coach, for those of you guys that don't know. Well, I've been a coach for, I don't know, it's like 4 years, almost 5, I think. I lose track all the time. And I was a coach I've been a coach for that long. And then in March of this year, I was a diamond coach. So nothing wrong with that, but I was kind of just stagnant. I wasn't really going anywhere. And now, as of June, so March I was diamond, as of June we hit superstar, which is 15 diamonds, and now I have over 20 personally sponsored diamonds. And I know when people watch this or they hear my story, they're like, how? Or there's like two responses, I think. I think there's like, how, and okay, good for you. Because I'm gonna be honest, I used to, watch top coaches at Summit or in trainings, and they'd be like, I'm in the Million Club, and I'm like, okay, good for you. Like, not in a negative way, but like, that will never be me kind of thing. That's just kind of where my mindset was, and that was so wrong, right? So I'm gonna kind of tell you like what changed for me, and hopefully it helps you. Like I said, I feel like I'm such a normal person. I always say like I'm nothing special, okay? I started this business with 0 followers, didn't even have Instagram until about a year and a half ago. I have 200 Facebook friends, and so we all start at the bottom, but it's the people that show up and are consistent and don't give up that make it far. So that's not what I planned on starting this with, but it works. So anyways, my name is Emily Fauver. Like I said, I've been a coach for almost 5 years. I originally signed up to be a coach for the discount because I wanted Shakeology. And my husband is in the Air Force, he's a pilot, and so we were moving to our first base, and I needed something to keep myself busy, so I was kind of like forced into coaching because we lived in a really small town. If you were at Summit, you heard my story, but we lived in a really small town with nothing but a Walmart, and I had a degree, and I obviously still have a degree, but I couldn't use it there. So I was like, well, I'll try coaching, and I'm so glad that I did, because now it's changed my whole life. And so I do it full time now, and just have reached so many goals this year. And now my team is currently the number 2 team in the network. So it's pretty exciting, just to see what can even happen in a year, to kind of show you guys. I think my team this time last year was like 350 or something, and the year before it was like in the thousands. And so don't ever think that, when you're looking at me, that it can't be you, because it can. All right, so if you're watching this, like this, show me some love. I love to see who's on here, just to see your guys' faces. If you have questions as I go, please ask. But I'm gonna kind of walk you through how my year started, because it was quickly going to start like every other year. Like I said, I've been a coach for almost 5 years and sat at Diamond for almost 5 years, right? And so I had this moment in January where I sat down at my desk, and I am a pen and paper person. So I started writing out everything that I've done for the last, at that time it was 4 years. For the last 4 years, what have I done? And I looked at this list and I was like, that didn't work. So you have to do something different. And so I started January thinking to myself, you wanted for the last 4 years to be a 5-star elite coach. You wanted to be, in the top 100, all these things, and it hasn't worked, then you got to do something different, right? You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. And that's exactly why I wrote that list of things that I was doing, because I knew what I was doing wasn't working and I had to change things. And so I had to visualize. I didn't just think about it. I actually had to visualize, well, Emily, you're only sending, the 10 invites a day, or you're only relying on your coach for trainings, and you're only, it was all of these things that I knew I had to change if I wanted more. And because it hadn't worked for me for the last 4 years, why was it going to work for me in this 5th year? It doesn't just magically happen. You have to work for it. We all know that. And so that's when I really had to have like a pep talk with myself and a heart to heart, really. And I thought to myself, and my quote for this year and for my team, and if you're at Summit, you heard it, is if you kind of sort of try, you kind of sort of get results. All right, like write that down and stick it in front of your face so you see it every single day. Because honestly, it's like what gets me out of bed when I don't feel like working or even working out. When I don't feel like doing anything, I think to myself, well, this is the most you're going to get out of this if this is all you do. And another one of my favorite quotes, I'm a quote person, is don't let them work harder than you. So there's days that I want to be lazy and I'd rather watch Bachelor in Paradise instead of send my invites or whatever. But I think to myself, there's someone out there that's working harder than I am, and I cannot let them if I have big goals. Okay. And so if I were you, I'd write those 2 things down, because they are what I started my year with and what have like really helped me get through this year. It's a huge mindset shift. So my first tip, and it might sound so silly and simple to you guys, but I promise it works, is double everything. Okay, and what I mean by that is double every goal that you have. And so at the beginning of this year, I told myself, I was like, okay, I want to be 5-star elite. And then again, I wrote down everything that I was doing. I was like, well, if you want something different, you got to do something different. So why are you going for 5-star elite? Why not 10-star elite? And I'll never forget, my coach is Ashley Moll's dad, and she posted on our team page, like January, February, I can't remember. She said, I want to hear your goals for this year. And I wrote, I want to be 10-star elite. And at this time I was diamond. And I remember thinking to myself, like, she's going to think I'm so crazy, because I've worked, I've been a coach for 4 years and still haven't achieved 5-star elite. What makes me think that I'm going to be 10-star elite? And it was in that moment that I was like, well, you're doubling everything now. You're not going to settle, and you're going to work twice as hard, because 1, Ashley thinks you're crazy probably now, and 2, you can't settle. So I went from wanting to be 5-star elite to 10-star elite. I doubled everything as far as Success Club goes even. I'm not kidding. It was in January. I texted Ashley, my coach, and I said, my goal for January is to hit Success Club 100. And she said, oh, that's cool. She's great about tough love. That's cool. That's because you think and you know that you can get there. So double it. And I was like, shoot, you're right. So I doubled it to 200. That month I hit like 167. And I'm telling you, I don't say that to brag. I tell you that because I know for a fact that if my goal would have stayed at SC 100, there's no way I would have gotten to SC 167, because I would have sat at 100 and been like, cool, and then cruised, because that's just how my mentality was prior years. But I made that decision in January that I was going to double everything that I did, whether it's my recruitment, my Success Club, my invites, my trainings that I do, my Star Diamond, whatever. I was going to double everything. And so if your goal right now, if you're on this call and your goal is to hit Success Club 5, you're wrong. Like you cannot make your goal Success Club 5, because that's as hard as you're going to work. Right? If you make a goal that scares the crap out of you, that you tell someone about, and you're gonna like do whatever you can to get there, right? But Success Club 5 isn't that scary. So Success Club 10 and 20, double everything. That is my first and foremost. That's how I started my year, and I encourage you to do that as well. So another thing that I learned this year was, I wouldn't say learned, but made the decision on this year, was I needed to stop waiting, and this is very important. I needed to stop waiting for my coach to do things for me. I can't tell you how many DMs I get a day of people saying, my upline doesn't have the training that you do, and my upline doesn't offer this that you do, and blah, blah, blah. Can I switch teams? And I never allow that, because I personally believe you can make it happen on your own. Do not, like, your upline doesn't owe you anything, all right? Like, I know firsthand, my upline is great, but she didn't have an upline, and she now is #1 in the company and has made this work, okay? So stop waiting for your upline to do it. My coach last year had a baby, and so she was going through a lot, and then it was January. I was like, we need like a training, and we, you know, like, I keep getting the same questions from my coaches. I need something. And I had to sit back and be like, if you need it, then just do it yourself. Like, don't wait for Ashley to do it for you. And so it was in January that I made the decision on my own as a diamond coach, nothing special yet. Like, I wasn't a 15-star diamond, nothing. That I made the decision that I was gonna do this training and make it myself. And luckily, when I brought up the idea to her, she was on board and she did it with me. And so, like, I really encourage you to, if your team doesn't have the training you want, then make it yourself. If your team doesn't have, quarterly diamond trainings, then do it yourself. Take initiative and don't wait for your coach to do it, because that might not get you anywhere fast, right? And another thing is, I really had to think, because I was someone that relied so much on my coach, especially in the beginning. It was like all these questions and all that. And so I was like, I have to take initiative and figure things out on my own. And so I decided to come up with like my own little trainings. And so first of all, Ashley and I in January put together like this 15-day training. I know people are gonna ask about what it is. It's just honestly a video series that we made. We split up the videos, so simple, follow-ups, invites, mindset, all of that, in like 8-minute videos a day. And we put it on Thinkific, and that's just like a free website, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Honestly, it was like the most thrown together thing, but we get such great feedback on it, and our team loves it. So I encourage you to do that too. Take what you know and just put it into a training, and someone will benefit from it, right? So this is a very popular subject that I get, is my push to emerald calls. And this is something I took initiative on myself too, and didn't wait for my upline to create for me, even though I wanted to, and because we feel like when we have an upline that they know everything, and they, like I said, owe this to us, but they don't. And so I had this aha moment this year when I had a new coach come to me, and she goes, Emerald, that's easy. I can get there in 24 hours. And when she said that, I thought to myself, well, why can't everyone? Because you're so right. It's your spouse plus, a friend. And so I started doing these push to emerald calls. And I'll get more into that in a second. But this topic that they kind of wanted me to talk about was how I gained confidence. And the best way to put it is, when I started to do more and when I started to actually be a leader, I started to gain confidence. Imagine that. Like, when I started to put in more effort into my business, I became more confident in what I was doing. And like, just to give you an idea, this started way back. I would make leaderboards when there was only 3 people on it, and I would shout them out publicly. I would do trainings in my team page, even if I never even got a like. But it's so funny, because I look back at these trainings that I did, and I would not get any likes, but I acted like I was getting hundreds. Like, I showed up still. I showed up in my team page. If you're on this and you don't have a team page, you need to make one today. Because even if it's just a team of 1 or a team of 2, you need a team page. And you just gotta fake it till you make it, I guess. It kind of cracks me up, because I don't know how it really happened for me. Like, I don't know what made me want to show up when people weren't showing up for me. But I did it. And so I really encourage you guys to do the same. Oh, I love your all's comments. So sweet. Actually, one of my favorite things that I've been told is actually from Amy Silverman, and she told my coach this. Well, no, she didn't tell my coach this, but she heard it at like a training or something. Sorry, I'm turning this down because I'm getting hot. And she said, Amy said this, she said, when I was a team of one, I acted like I could sell out a stadium. So you have to fake it till you make it. And it's so funny to me too. I got a DM probably like a couple weeks ago, and one girl was like, it's so refreshing to see that a top coach like you once was only getting 10 likes on photos. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good point. And I went back and looked on my Instagram and Facebook and all that. And sure enough, like when I started my 80-day obsession journey, I was only getting like 20 likes on photos. But I posted and I showed up acting like I was getting thousands, and I was not. Sorry, I'm thirsty. You guys are so sweet. Okay, so anyways, but it didn't just happen overnight. Like it took lots of consistency. And it's something that I have done from the beginning, but I have gotten more confident since I finished my fitness journey. Not finished, but got my results with 80-day. And one of my good friends actually said, this just goes back to faking it till making it, said to me probably about 6 months ago, she said, Emily, it's so crazy. I used to watch your live videos on your Facebook of my like hair tutorials or whatever. She's like, you talked and you had confidence. Like there was hundreds of people that were watching your video when maybe there were 10. And you know, you just have to keep showing up even if the people aren't showing up for you, even if the likes aren't there, even if the engagement's not there, the DMs, whatever, you have to show up because one day they'll show up for you. Okay. All right, sorry, I have my notes. So what's gonna happen too, when you show up every single day and you start getting results and you show up in people's news feeds, you're gonna start gaining trust. That is so important. And I feel like once you start gaining trust from people, you start gaining confidence. Because like I honestly felt like this year, I had so much confidence in who I am, who I was, and who, like the programs, especially 80-day, because it changed my life, that if people didn't join me, sucks for them. Like, just to put it that way, like that is their problem, not mine. On to the next person, because I know how life-changing these programs can be and how life-changing this coaching opportunity can be, that I do not take no for an answer, and I don't take no's and let them defeat me. And I'm not gonna lie, this month, we all know August is a hard month. This has been the hardest month of the year for me. And I could easily throw myself a pity party. But I tell myself that the seeds I'm planting today are gonna pay off, and these people that are telling me no are gonna come back no matter what. Because I'm gonna keep showing up in their newsfeed. I'm not gonna give up. Like, I'm not gonna stop posting because they're telling me no. I'm gonna keep showing up and staying consistent in their newsfeed, and they're gonna come back. So now I just really feel like when, this year, like a lot of people don't even think twice about joining, because I am portraying these programs and this business as the best thing ever, that they don't even think otherwise, right? I used to be so afraid to reply to people when they had objections or a hater even, but I'm like, I'm so confident in this that I don't care. But that confidence doesn't come just naturally, right? I started gaining more confidence once I really saw for myself what these programs could do. And so, but that took me, and you guys know my story, but well, most of you do, but that took me really doing a program from start to finish, not kind of sort of doing it, because again, if you kind of sort of try, you kind of sort of get results, but showing up consistently every single day, showing people what day 1 looked like to day 80 for me, showing people what it looked like to be at Disney World on 80-day obsession. The rock star on my team, one of the rock stars on my team, joined me because I showed her that I could do 80-day at Disney World. Okay, so you just have to show up no matter what. And with that, you're gonna get results, and you're gonna gain trust from your followers, which then equals confidence. And like I said, it's not just some people are born with confidence. I know that I wasn't. I'm actually naturally an introvert, and you could say I was very insecure growing up, but if Beachbody has given me anything, it's the confidence to really be okay with who I am, and show every part of that. I don't hide anything on social media. People on my social media know everything about me. And that's pretty cool because I don't know any other job that would allow me to be completely silly, myself, and be successful. Taylor's getting to my next point. Taylor is on my team, another rock star on my team, who she said, and that confidence trickles down to your downline. That's actually what I have. It says it ripples down to my team. That's the next note I have. That's so funny. Because it's true. Like when you act like this is the best thing in the world, because it is, your team is gonna see that and want to be a part of that. Well, originally want to be a part of it. And then they're never gonna wanna give up because they see what it takes. I mean, what's happened for you. So just know from the very beginning, like how important it is to be a product to the product. And that's something that I preach to my team. I have people that message me all the time and want to join my team. And I don't start the conversation with, okay, so this is what you're going to do as a coach. I say, okay, what program do you want to start your journey with? I will not take anyone on my team unless they tell me what program they're going to start their journey with, because I have seen firsthand how important it is to be a product of the product, right? So why would I allow someone to not do that, and join my team? Thank you, Grace. So if that's a tip I can give, is do not just take anyone and everyone. Be picky about who you allow on your team and make sure that they know how important it is to be a product of the product. So, all right, I feel like this is the meat of the call. I just went through and talked about mindset and stuff, but now you guys are probably wondering, how the heck did I create, I think I have 22 personally sponsored diamonds now, and being a diamond coach in March. So I'm gonna go through my top tips. Sorry, if I take a second to breathe. Excuse me. All of y'all know for the most part that I'm pregnant, and I'm very nauseous right now. So I'm putting a lot of effort into making sure that I can end this call. So let's just be totally upfront. Okay, thank you. I have crackers right here and I'm about to eat them, but I'm gonna refrain. Okay, so how the heck did I create so many diamonds? And I just wanna start, but with I feel like my team, and maybe if some of my teammates are watching this, if you guys comment, that would be great, and tell me what you feel has really helped. But for me, I feel like it's a matter of fact. My team doesn't come into this kind of sort of wanting to try, because they've seen what happened with me going all in, and so they want what's next constantly. And so for me, it's kind of a matter of fact. You're gonna be a diamond on the team, you're gonna be a star diamond, you're gonna be a superstar. You can ask any of the girls on my team and they all believe they can be a superstar diamond coach. There's no doubt. I mean, they do have doubts, we all do, but they believe it because they've seen me achieve it. So I had to really this year take initiative myself with not only my personal business, but my coach's business too. And what that means is I had to basically personally reach out to, gosh, this is really hard. Struggling. I almost said no to this because I'm so unpredictable. I might just eat a cracker. This is the most unprofessional thing I've ever done in my life. I'm losing my train of thought because I'm just so nauseous right now. But, so I was taking an initiative, and so if I saw a rock star under one of my personally sponsored coaches, I would reach out to them personally. I would not wait for them to join a call or for them to come to me or go to their coach. I took initiative and went and found them on my own. And so I personally would reach out to them, and they loved that. That's something that I've learned, is that when you are, at the top of your downline and you're a top coach, and you reach out to someone that may not even be an emerald yet, that means a lot to them. And so I would reach out to them and find out about their goals, invite them to our team calls and our Push to Emerald calls, which I am going to get into right now, because these have been I think, a huge game changer. I'm eating this. I'm so sorry. Beachbody's gonna watch this and be like, this girl. Okay. If it's not Miss Goose interrupting, it's this new one. So, okay. Anyways. Oh yeah, you guys are so nice. I'm taking Sophrologia, but it's not working. So, here we are. Thank you for your patience. This is not what I anticipated. So anyways, these Push to Emerald calls are gold. I love them. I started them on my own. I came up with it, and like I said at the beginning of the call, I said I had someone come to me and say I could get to Emerald in 24 hours, and I said, duh, everyone can. So I started doing these, and what I do them every 2 weeks, and now I've partnered up with my upline, and we do it together every 2 weeks. And I honestly started out so unprofessional. It was just like thrown together. It'd be like a Monday. It'd be like, tomorrow at 6 p.m. we're gonna do this call, because I was looking at what my team needed, and I would do these calls especially when we're running for Superstar. I'm like, oh shoot, we need, this person be Emerald, this person be Emerald. So I would do these calls at like the drop of a hat. And now we're a little more organized, and we do them every 2 weeks. But at the beginning it wasn't. So keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be some fancy put together, training. Just know it just has to be something. In the past, I would run like these Emerald groups, like a week long, but honestly, it should not take a week to be Emerald. Some it does, so it's okay, but realistically, we can get to Emerald in 24 hours. So why am I giving them a whole week of training when I could tell them in 30 minutes how it can be done? And so like my key to this is I was making Emerald sound so cool. Well, I still am, but I make Emerald sound like the coolest thing ever, because honestly, it is. It's a first stepping stone of your business. It's a confidence booster, and some coaches don't even get there, so they don't realize the benefits. And so I get on this call, and I will just tell them, how they get the leads and how they can earn the trips and, cycle bonuses and all of that. And I just talk to them. And then at the end of the call, I always have a call to action. And so I say, we are not getting off this call until you think of your 2 people that you will sign up. And one, I know not everyone does this, but I encourage a spouse to be one of your coaches. And so I have them think of their 2 people. And then as soon as we get off this call, our Zoom call, I have them message their upline who their 2 people are. And I would have people that weren't even my personally sponsored message me, which is great, because it adds a sense of a more personal connection with people that just aren't your personally sponsored. And these people know that I'm going to celebrate them, and they're not just another number in my downline. And I had people that maybe took 2 weeks to get to Emerald, which is totally fine, but they'd come back to me 2 weeks later and know that I was going to celebrate them. And that would happen. They would come, Emily, I'm Emerald. And then I would celebrate them, and then so on. So that has been a huge part. We all know recognition is one of the vital behaviors, and personal recognition has shown to really work for me this year. Obviously, I will shout them out on Thursdays once the rank advancement happens, but knowing that they can come to me and I'm going to be excited for them is huge. And so don't underestimate that at all. But with these Emerald calls, that's when I would go personally invite people. Even if they weren't my personally sponsored coach, I would look in my downline and be like, okay, this girl is 1 Emerald away from Diamond, so I'm going to invite everyone that's under her to this Emerald call personally. I want to wait for Taylor, who's their coach, to go do it. I would go do it. One, so that, you know, we all know your coach can say all these amazing things, but as soon as someone else says it, you listen. So that's kind of what I was thinking this year. And that's why I went and took initiative myself. So I encourage you guys to make these emerald calls, push to emerald calls. Make emerald sound cool and simple, because if you make it sound hard, they're gonna think it's hard. Just like with diamond. If you make diamond sound hard, your team will never hit diamond because they're gonna think it's hard. And these push to emerald calls kind of created and still have an emerald factory. And so that way my team is constantly creating emeralds, and it trickles down to my downline too. So it's not just me creating emeralds, my downline is as well. And it has really, really worked. So another thing I have done is I do just quarterly diamond trainings, and they're nothing crazy special. I do it with my coach and a few of our friends. And so, you know, if your coach isn't doing that, take initiative and do it yourself. But we just do, it's like a 6-week training, and we just do like social media training in there, and we each take a week and we have our topics and guest speakers and all of that. So that's just another thing. But I don't know, like I have some diamonds come out of that, but for the most part, they're pretty trickled throughout the year. So it's not, I don't think one thing, but I feel like a huge game changer for me this year has been the push to emerald calls for sure. Okay, my last thing, it's amazing how much a little bit of a cracker helps. Okay, my last thing that has really helped me this year and creating diamonds is success pods. And this is something that, again, personal recognition, more of a personal connection with people has helped. Oh, Kelly said, are those one-on-one calls or in small groups? They're a Zoom call, so it's just everyone is invited. Sometimes there's 20 on the call or 50. We just open it up to the whole downline. So anyways, I do these success pods, and I started this probably in February or March. And what I would do, I don't just throw people in pods and text them. And I personally don't think you should have more than 5 to 7 people in a text pod, because then it just gets crazy. So I took initiative. I went through my downline and I would look at my coaches. This is when I had literally no personally sponsored diamonds. And I would look and I would pay more attention to my downline. And I'd be like, okay, these girls all are hitting Success Club, but for some reason they're not setting coaches. The 7 of them go in this Success Pod. So it's a text strand. These girls all have emeralds, but not enough coaches. They're gonna go in this text strand. Or these people have all their coaches, but no emeralds, and they're gonna go in this text strand, all right? And so I probably have, I don't know, about 3 going on at a time. And I try to remake these pods every quarter. And I just add people in as I see them, depending on their goals. If they have made it known that their goal is diamond or whatever, I don't just put people in there if they don't want it. I want to make sure that they want it first. So, so I think that has been a huge game changer in the sense of actually picking the people and not just throwing whoever. And so in these groups, I'll just it's accountability. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, some of these fall flat on their face. Some of these groups, no one responds. And then other ones are just on fire. And that really helped when we were pushing for Superstar as well, because I had these pods and the girls were just feeding off of each other, and it was the best thing in the world. So, and now they're all best friends. So anyways, it's just a great place for me to, hey, who wants to get on a call right now? Who needs help? Who is gonna be diamond on Thursday? Whatever. I would just communicate with them. Or if we had a push to emerald call, ladies, we're gonna have a push to emerald call, invite 3 people, report back when you have. Or last night we had a power hour, so I'd be like, hey guys, we're gonna have a power hour, see you guys in 20 minutes or whatever. So it's just I personally feel Facebook is just, you know, we all have a million groups we're a part of and notifications that things just get lost, and it kind of takes the personal touch out of things. And so these pods create more of like a personal relationship with my team and my coaches. And that's, I feel like I said, it gets less personal when you're having like 20 people or even 10 people in these text strands. So keeping it around 5 to 7 has been helpful. And actually just last night I posted in my team page a document, because I want people to be able to team up with who they want as well, like kind of like a group of like 5 success partners. So we made a document and I made slots of 5 to 7, and they could put their name and number and we'll make a pod for them, kind of thing. So just because when your team gets bigger, it's harder to keep track of everyone. So that was like, yeah, that was a huge game changer for me, was the pods and the Push to Emerald calls. I would say were probably like my top tips for getting so many personally sponsored diamonds, but then also just mindset. Like I said at the beginning of this, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So if you're watching this video and looking at me and thinking that will never be me, then you're right, it will never be you. But if you get out of that mindset and think, well, why the heck not me? Like, why not? Even if, you know, you're a brand new coach or you're sitting at Emerald right now, just know it's possible. All right, I gotta get off of here before things get ugly. But thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate your patience today. And you can keep asking questions, or if you have comments, I will come back and read them later. But I appreciate y'all, and good luck. It's the 4th quarter of the year, so we gotta hustle like it is. All right, bye guys.